Hello everyone, a very warm day to you. I hope your day has been going great. I remain your humble host, Becky Usoro. It's that time of the show, Citizens Dialogue on First Next News Protocol, where we discuss trending and interesting political topics. Joining me on set to have this conversation today is King Sajalo. Sit back, relax, and enjoy all we have for you on this beautiful segment. It's a pleasure having you on set.
Thank you so much, Becky.
How are you doing?
Of course, I'm great.
Okay, so coming to work today, how was it like on the road? Looking at this ongoing ring road construction that just the contractors just embarked on it again.
Well,
how has it been like, coming to work?
Of course, it's so targeting because of the rate at which the contractors are really taking out their duties.
Yeah, like the places that they worked that was already,
yes.
they were already done.
Of course.
And then it got bad again.
Yeah, because
so
of
it's
the
like
delay,
starting a fresh,
fresh
job
of some
altogether.
places that have been demolished and all of that. And looking at the, we of course, we are in the festive period, December, whereby traders are trying to get up, meet their daily activities in order to have sales. So those
and the
are
traffic is really much
of
coming
course,
from Rumokoro axis, the Eneka
exactly,
axis, the
yes.
Rupoko
So
axis. It's really
with all of this,
choking.
It has contributed to the long traffic.
And then with time now, they increase transport fares. So,
exactly, but let us hope with time definitely to be resolved.
Yeah, with time. Right? So we just to encourage the people that stay within the environment where this construction is going on, that they should be a bit patient. Of course, it's going to be very challenging, yes, especially in the Yule-Tide season now.
Yes, we just hope that the construction company
will hasten up their job.
Exactly,
they'll just put more effort in time. Okay, thank you so much. So let's head into the story for today. Yeah. The PDP, of course, we know what happened yesterday, the long-awaited anticipation of the Rivers people that Governor Siminalayi Fubara has joined the APC. What people have been hoping, some are saying he will join, but he has cut the blue off and said he has finally joined the APC. All right, Fubara, he said one of the reasons for leaving the PDP was that the party failed to protect him during those crisis times, whereas the APC, the federal government, offered the support, which he needed. Of course, the PDP strongly condemned his defection, calling it a self-inflicted injury. Exactly. The defection is a major blow for PDP, in Rivers State and the entire South region. Looking at the defection that have been going on, to and fro. Fubara is like the last PDP governor that in the region that has defected. Exactly. For APC, acquiring Fubara and by extension control of Rivers State. Of course, we know what has been happening in Rivers State. It's as though we have a governor who is in PDP, but some other person is trying to give control of what is happening in the state. So according to party's official statement, Fubara really traveled the path that took him to the destination, meaning that he cannot validly accuse PDP of abandonment of neglect. The PDP also characterized his moves as pitiful, pitying him, all right, and one that it reflects deeper problems, powerful interests, using state influence to weaken opposition, undermining democracy. So what are your thoughts? Okay, him taking this step, do you really think it's going to help development in the state? Like he already said, he's now back to full journey. Yes. Okay.
First of all, reading the articles, he made mention of something that really struck my mind. He said the defecting to the APC is for the interest of the people. Inside me, I was like, what concerns the people in your defection process?
No, because he's feeling as though, like, ever since he's been ruling, it's as if he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
This has been an occurrence, and it has long awaited. The people has long has expected this. You understand? Looking at his movement, his structure. Okay, look at the convention that was held in Oyo State last month. We could all testify his absence. So that is a clarity that something is fishing.
So his defection is going to help him to do better.
Exactly. And it seems as if this defection has been programmed a long time ago, but are waiting.
It's been a struggle for him to really decide and
to decide. Becky, I won't say it was a struggle. Okay. I think it's something that the mind has.
But I think it's a struggle. That's one of the reasons why we actually went for the 6 months, suspension.
Suspension of the
because maybe if he had, defected earlier.
Exactly.
I don't think there will be a suspension.
Undermining a closed-door meeting between him and the president recently. Anybody can go on a closed-door meeting with the president, maybe due to 1 or 2 other activities. Okay. But definitely, you could see that this is a clear fact of the camping process. Now, let's be specific and let's go straight to statistics. If you look at the aspect of Fubara defecting, you will see that there is an undermining going on, which the citizens of Nigeria don't really know about.
Yeah.
Now, APC as a ruling party has occupied 26 states right now in Nigeria, while the PDP, which the governor of Rivers State just left, is holding just 5 states. Initially it was 6, but after Fubara has left now, just 5. We're talking about Adamawa, Bauchi, Oyo State, and Taraba, I think one other state. So now you could definitely see that the APC is growing dominance. Yeah. We all know the purpose. I think it's heading towards the 2027 general election, allegedly. But I was, okay, look at the case of the Osun State governor. Now, what I'm trying to point out, now, Fubara doesn't really have any excuse by using the interest of the people, and secondly saying that the PDP
didn't support him.
That shouldn't be an excuse. Okay, everyone, you know, are entitled to their opinion. You have the right to the camp, but don't start bringing some excuses of the people never
the PDP never that he supported you and stuff like that.
Okay. In the case of Adeleke, the governor of Osun State, he decamped to the ACOP. Now, didn't he, that is, I'm talking about Fubara, why didn't he decamp to the ADC? Why didn't he decamp to the other political parties in Nigeria? Why the APC, if not for his own interest? You know, all this decamping of APC, they all have their own, they all have the purpose in which they are doing it. And what we want to say is for a selfish purpose. They are trying to meet a target. Let's leave that as, of course.
So what kind of target are you really talking about here?
Of course, you know, everyone want to proclaim remain in power.
You know, because in terms of Fubara, it's as if he was choking.
To me, Becky,
during the time, like when he started, it was too, like, you know, we that are here in Rivers.
Now, if you look at that emergency ruling, I don't think the fact that the president and his other cabinet trying to hold the state for their own purposes, I don't think it would also is also a means of choking Fubara, because he was no one ever pointed a gun at you, or no one ever. I don't think it was a force for you to decamp. You know, it will be for a reason, but I don't think it was meant for him decamping to the PDP. Nevertheless, to the APC. Nevertheless, decamping to the APC is no one is against him right now. He has done what his own mind. I think this is what he has decided to do. Why did if he was being under pressure? Are you trying to say that Adeleke is not because these are two counterparts who I think next 2027 they will be running for another governorship election. Then why was Adeleke not pressurized going to the APC?
Okay, but I think that's a personal decision. He
exactly. So that is what I'm trying to say. I don't think he was under pressure. I don't think there was, you know, he willingly went to the APC for his own purpose. Because if Adeleke too was being pressured, he would have gone to the APC.
No, you know, when it comes to what's happening in Rivers, it's quite different from what's happening
in Osun State.
Yes.
But they are both states under one country, under one federation. So are we talking about the resources the state is carrying? Are we talking about the rate of, should I use the word?
We're looking at the crisis and during the time of governance when, you know, Fubara started as a governor. And of course, you know what has been happening between him and the FCT
minister who's supposed to be his godfather. So, but if you look at it, to me, Becky, there wasn't crisis. That wasn't a crisis enough to call the state and put it in a state of emergency. You know, so I think we should always think about what is beneath all these operations rather than trying to look at the surface, or looking at the surface. But nevertheless, let's just wait and see the outcome of all these arrangements.
Like I said, that, you know, he's now back to work.
Exactly.
Like now we're expecting to see something different or something more perfect from.
To me, I would say we are hoping to see something different because I just hope his defection would affect the state.
No, it won't affect. Hopefully it won't affect. Okay, so let's cut to another story. The AAC faults Tinubu government over Benin airstrike, saying Nigerians show strength abroad but fails to protect, you know, its citizens. Recall what had happened in the coup in Benin Republic that happened on December 7th. The government, they requested help from our president Tinubu, you know, from Nigeria, and the Nigerian military responded with speed. Jet struck coup-related targets and group troops were deployed to help the Benin restore constitutional order. And then the African Congress, AAC, has response exposes serious, you know, hypocrisy. They said the party accuses the government of criminal negligence, saying it acts swiftly and precisely when elite power or foreign approval is at stake, but fails to protect ordinary Nigerians at home. They argue that the airstrikes prove Nigerian has a military and intelligence capability, but lacks the commitment to use that capacity to protect citizens from domestic threats like terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and insecurity. You really think what they are saying, it's right?
It's absolutely right, Becky. It's absolutely right. But nevertheless, every country, especially like Nigeria, has the has the right and also has the willpower to go for a peacekeeping intervention mission.
Definitely.
In any country, if they are willing to support, in terms of, look at what happened in Benin Republic, where there was an alleged coup d'etat, which failed, and you understand the Nigerian military, embarked on the journey trying to, using their aircraft and all of that, and now
because like one of the major
there's a news of them sending troops to the country to try to make peace come true. Now, in that aspect, I think there's nothing wrong in doing that. But the problem in here is failing to secure your own citizens from the so-called banditry, terrorism happening in your country. That is where the issue is right now.
No, but we've been seeing a positive result lately.
Okay, positive result lately. But Becky, I was hoping you would say we've seen a total positive result in the sense that it has been totally wiped out.
This thing.
Now, sorry to cut you short. Even the Benin Republic now that we are sending troops to. Now imagine, I think peace has been restored in that country. How about our own country, Nigeria, whereby recently, yesterday, I think some group of bandits, went on another mission, kidnapping, I think a pastor and, pregnant woman somewhere is still in that same Kogi state, still in that same North Central. Now, what are we talking about here? Now, we don't know the next mission of these people. The effrontery, the power in which you're using to send troops to other country to take a peace mission or whatever. Why don't you use that effort in tackling the menace happening? That is what the AAC is trying to talk about here. They are not against the president, sending troops to other countries, You're talking
about swiftness,
Yes, to help other nations when they are facing crisis. Because we too, we also need help.
Yes,
you understand? We need help. That is if we call for help. The Benin Republic called for help, and we went there. But the unfortunate thing now is how have we been able to tackle our own menace? That is what these people are talking about, and it's true. Because if we can't help, it's just like two couples having issues in their own house, and they are not able to settle their own beef.
So it's an outsider that can come and
that is what we are talking about, and that is what the AAC is looking at. You understand? Nobody is against
helping other countries for assistance.
No, but you just put your own house in order. That's what we're talking about. Let these killings, let this terrorism, and let the menace happening, especially in the northern part of Nigeria.
Everybody have is freedom of speech.
Exactly, and not just in the northern part of Nigeria. We're talking about the federation at large, even in the south where we are currently. That is what they are talking about, and that is what the federal government should do. You understand? If you are tackling the problems of other country, make sure that the one within the country is being dealt with without with immediate effect.
We'll be back still on the insecurity, topic.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
everyone. That's the show, Citizens Dialogue on First News Port Harcourt. Let's go for a short break. I am Becky Osaro. Welcome back to the show, Citizens Dialogue on First News Port Harcourt. I am Becky Osaro. Still here on set with me is King Sajalo. I hope you're having a great time with us. Thanks for staying with us. Okay, Jalo, let's hit straight to, still on insecurity. Yeah. Islamic cleric Ahmed Gumi has insisted that Nigeria must negotiate with bandits, saying kidnapping of children is lesser evil compared to killing soldiers. He used past incidents, such as a case in Kebbi State, where adopted children were reportedly released unharmed, to argue that some kidnapping ended without, fatalities, reinforcing his view of a moral difference. Okay, he rejects in the negotiation that governments must never negotiate with armed nor state actors, saying that neither scripture nor global practice supports an absolute no negotiation policy. And then he noted back previous mediation efforts last around 2021 or so were done openly with authorities and the press, to show transparency and, seriousness. My point is, he's saying that most of these bandits are, rural headers, often from the Fulani, header communities fighting what he described as existential survival struggles tied to livelihood, cattle herding, not ideologically motivated insurgency. He believes that this context requires more than just military, solution. And he's saying something about, that they should adopt, they should be able to adopt children rather than soldiers. And I'm saying most of the people who, have been freed, the trauma that they go through.
Yeah, Becky,
and most times, some people, the trauma can even lead to death. Most cases, too, the trauma can even lead to death.
Most of these high-profile personnel, because he is among the high-profile personnel in Nigeria, and they speak most times reluctantly out of because such incidents has not really happened to them or maybe a family members of his. Now, looking at what Ahmed Gumi is trying to emphasize in saying that. The worst sin these bandits will commit that should really be really concentrated is when they killed our militaries, that kidnapping of children and all of that are not really
is lesser evil. Looking at the trauma that these children will go through.
I think if this situation, if most of these high-profile persons, if this kidnapping really happens to them, I think they really take this insecurity serious. It's because they don't really have victims from their family. Maybe their children are not being kidnapped. Thereabout. That is why they just feel free to say, let me not use the word, should I use the word, the dirty opinions, feel free to say whatever they want to say.
So he's saying negotiation is normal. Somebody kidnaps.
How can you, and this is a cleric for that matter, saying this kind of a thing. Okay, are you trying to say even in the Quran, that the Quran has approved kidnapping? Is that what it's trying to say? As a cleric, I ought this not to have come out from the mouth of a cleric. Let me be honest. And if you look at his history, he was one time in the military as a doctor, and now Ahmed Gumi should recall when he was in the military forces. Fine, maybe he wasn't going out for fighting and facing bandits and all of that. But I think one of the rules of the military is to secure life and property. We're talking about life here, and you are bringing it to the table that kidnapping of children are not
lesser
evil. Come on, then
killing of soldiers.
Then when you say it's lesser evil, then what is now crime? What do we define as crime? What is the difference between kidnapping and taking the lives of people? Because those who are in the hands or in the den of kidnapper, their life are at risk. The only little quantity remaining for them is to be shot dead at that point.
And the trauma remains.
Exactly.
It takes time.
Exactly.
For it to go off.
Look at the issue of a woman who was killed, I think in the North Central, so who was freed and immediately she died. Now, what are we talking about? There is no difference between killing of soldiers or kidnapping of soldiers or children. These are all crimes.
So he's saying the negotiation, what you're trying to say now, that the negotiation is not necessary.
You see, I blame the federal government. When you see people who are bringing us suggestions like that, at least with your intelligences, you should be able to carry investigation of people like this to be able to, get where the root of this banditry are. Because from what Ahmed Gumi is stating, or from his own speech, there's a clear signal that look, this allegedly he has something to do with these people, which the government really need to investigate. You understand? We won't put it as a full proof that yes, he's negotiating with bandits or he's having something to do with bandits.
Maybe he's speaking on
their behalf. At least there should be a thorough investigation with this kind of statement. There should be a thorough investigation. Even the United States forces who are prescribing Nigeria as a country of particular concern should getting seeing a word from this kind of a person, they should swift into action and investigate his statement and be able to tackle the root of this menace happening. Nigeria, we shouldn't put ourselves too little and be scared of people who claim they are cleric or whatever. We should be able to follow the law and use our military manpower to bring these people to book once and for all.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you on stage.
Thank you so much, Becky.
Thanks, everyone. That's our show for today, Citizens Dialogue on First Nurses Port Harcourt. I am Becky Usar. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.